What's up guys, Henry here and welcome to the Minecraft survival games tier list. So today we're going to be ranking the top MCSG maps on a grand tier list while I fight this kid on my main club and probably a whole other load of kids. But yeah, we're going to be setting up the top of the line SG maps. I'm going to show you which ones are the best here on the grand tier list. So right at the bottom here on the F tier we have the grand survival games 1. So this map, I don't know if you've played it, but it's I'm sure everyone has. It's like the original Hunger Games map. It's just like a forest. Someone just got a load of saplings and planted a load of trees, and they made this cornucopia, and then bang, that's an SG map right there. The only reason it's not higher is because it is very plain. There's not too many chest routes or anything, or actually there is one like insane chest route, which makes it not very balanced. It's usually a fight to go to the east route on that map, so it's not really the best of the best. So that's why it's in the F tier. So these are like the maps that no one wants to play. And then another map in the bottom F tier, we have SG 3, I think it is. So this is like the giant green map that everyone hates, that has a bit of water in the middle that you have to swim there. When you get put into this map on MCSG, everyone just leaves. They're all out. There's only like 2 kids left by the time you start this game. So I think this might even be worse than SG1. Because there is no like OP route on here. I don't think anyone's ever found a route on here. The map's way too big. It's just it's better than the first one because it's got more buildings and stuff and a little bit of building work. But it's just not really the best, and you don't often get put in it. Only when MCSG decides that it's compulsory to play it, so they turn it on. But it is also a very ancient map, so it hasn't been updated for the latest PvP appliances. But yeah, we're going to move on to the E tier now. So what we have here is we have a lot sort of better maps. Like I think these maps are a big step up from the other 2 bottom ones because they were absolutely awful. But up from the grand F tier, we've got the three maps. Origins, SG2, and we've got Tauren SG1. So I don't know why I included Origins on it. It's quite an old map. It probably hasn't been played from 2015, but I just remember it as being very big, very detailed, and it's very like high up. There's a lot of like height to it. Like you could fall off a lot of stuff here. But I think I should have included like other sort of maps that didn't make the list on instead of this one. But I don't know why I included this one. I just wanted to pad out the E tier a bit. But we've also got SG2 on this map. Now SG2's it's like it's what you would remember as a survival games map. A lot of you would probably remember this even more than SG4, even though it's not really played as anymore. It's sort of like the first like survival games Hunger Games map that was shown off. Like it's big buildings, like villages. It's sort of it's got the Hunger Games feel that you have to sort of find the chests. But there's also some godly routes on here. Specifically the west pink house route. Absolutely insane. Don't like full of double tier 2s and double tier 1s. But these games usually last a long time, and people don't really like the sort of wait, and they usually don't play this map, so that's why it's down here in the E tier. But I think if you get that, if you master that chest route, then like you always sort of win the game. So I think it's up from SG1 and SG2. Because there is actually a chest route on here. Even though SG1 has a chest route, you got a lot more buildings and detail on this map. But then we've also got Tauren SG1, and this map is really big. It's got some very nice intricate buildings on it. But it's also got a lake at spawn. It's that sort of makes it basically not very worthwhile of going to spawn, because you go to spawn and if someone gets a weapon, you're literally just stuck in the water and you can't do anything. A bit like SG3 on the F tier, which is a bit bad. It's got that ice, and ice is very hard to PvP on, so it's not really up there. But because it's a Tauren map, it's got potential. It's a good map. I like playing it. It's a nice looking map. It's icy. It's a lot better looking than the other maps that are already listed here. So that's the reason it's in E tier. But what we have here is, firstly, we have treacherous heights. Spawn is like ice, so it's quite hard to PvP on the ice. You gotta have a rod, otherwise you're screwed. But there is actually some nice routes here. Or the one I go to is like the little barn, whatever. But this one is there's some really good building gone into this map. Like it's perfectly good for PvP. Like it's nice and flat, but there's also hills and stuff. So it's quite a good map. But it's also I guess it's one of the newer maps, sort of, where it's a lot newer than the last two. And the next one we have on the E tier is Winter Haven. So this is a lot newer as well. So basically, this one is a giant hill, pretty much. It's just a giant slope. There's like a winter hill, and then you got like the corn, and then that's it, really. And it's just fairly decent map. I mean, it wouldn't get voted on the top of the line maps, but it's a nice map to play on. There's some jolly good routes here. And then what we've got on the D tier next, I think these are sort of a step up from those ones, even though there's a lot of good building work on these. These maps usually get played more. Actually, well, in terms of played more, we have lobby games, and this map hasn't been seen in ages. This was the old MCSG lobby, basically turned into survival games map. It's a bit like Skywars. There's a lot of void in it, so maybe it could be lower on the list, but I don't know. I think I really like lobby games. When you get put into it, you're like, oh, this is cool. This is nostalgic. And that's something about the other maps, like the F tier maps, that you probably get those nostalgic feel from those massive maps, because that's probably like the first Hunger Games you played on. But I think lobby games is just like MCSG, like it's the MCSG lobby. It has that MCSG feel to it. So that's why I've rated it here. It's also got the blimp and stuff. And because it's the lobby, you can find like the chest routes in the lobby usually, if it's not the small version, but it's a pretty good map. And then we have Solar Frost. Now this I don't like as much as the other ones on the E tier. This is I think it's a lot more popular, like it gets voted a lot more, but it's just it's very bland. Like it's completely snow. It's very dark, or it's not very dark. If you got like Fulbright, which I guess most people have now, it's all right. But even just looking at the screenshot there, it's like very dark and well, for shaders anyway. But it's just not a very intriguing map. There is some good routes on it. It's basically all about the PvP on that map. You got a massive spawn, and then the rest of it's just like a maze. And there's loads of traps and stuff, and when you get put in a trap, it's just really stupid, and you just cry and have to leave. But yeah, that could have been higher, because it does get played a lot more than the others, but I don't know, I really don't like Solar Frost. It's a bit boring for me. But then last on the D tier, I think this is even above the others, like the top of the D tier, we have the original Breeze Island. I would put this a lot higher, but I feel like people don't really like Breeze Island as much, because it's a very old map. It's probably one of the first. It has a lot of water in it. It's very like small, like the centre of it's small, but as you go out, it's got a lot of water on it. So some people might not like that. But it's pretty like nostalgic. There's lots of like redstone sort of secrets on it, and I don't know, you don't often get a lot of loot on it. Like you're often don't even get full iron sometimes on it. It depends like how the servers tier it, but on MCSG basically not everyone had full iron at deathmatch. Someone was like in leather usually. So it's sort of balanced. It's a bit of a weird map, but I think the games are usually quite short on there, so that's pretty good, just because of the size of it. And then next on the C tier, we have the Grand Breeze Island 2. So this is sort of a step up from Breeze Island, because the map is a lot nicer, I think. There's lily pads. It's not like the whole surrounding of it. It's not just water. There's also like you can parkour across the lily pads into different areas on the map. There's a lot more routes and stuff. Next on the list, we have on the C tier, we have Pompeii. Now, some people probably think this should be higher because it's very flat and very good for PvP. People usually get a lot of loot on this map. It's quite a new map, so I sort of put it lower because it's new, but it's not like a lot of the new maps do very well. Like they're up there on the best of the maps. But Pompeii is sort of in the middle, really. Like it's not that good, but it's good enough. Like it's a nice map, based off the Pompeii place in Italy. I think it's Italy anyway, with the volcano and that. So it's just a realistic setting, well built map, good for PvP, good chest routes and stuff. And then next up from that we have Green Grass. Now Green Grass is pretty recent. By recent I mean it's like I think it's 2016 or 2015. So it's a bit more later in the Hunger Games years. But it's got some nice routes. It's very flat. There's no real hills that you have to climb up. There's a lot of chests, a lot of easy like chests to get to. And it's just sort of the basic survival games map. Like what could go wrong here? And then we have some iconic maps. So we have Moonbase 9 here. I'm sort of putting Moonbase 9 and Moonbase 9 Return to Moonbase 9 sort of together because they're not actually that different. But there's loads of different chest routes on there, and it's just loved by all the SG players or whatever. And it's just a good PvP map, you know. It's nice and flat. My only problems with it that would make it not as high as I don't know, it's a bit dark. It is really unique with the style of the moon, but it's very dark compared to the other ones. So it's not really my favourite. So that's why I put it here. And then we got Winds of Change. Some people may think this should be lower or higher. I don't think anyone would think it's higher. I think this is on a good place really, because it does have a lot of water, but it's got some good routes. I think maybe this should have been lower, but the fact it's I don't know, it's just it gives you memories. Like the map sort of reminds me of that one Tomahawk, because he like showed off the routes when it first came out and stuff. So it's pretty recent, but I think it's better than the ones below this sort of. And then next on the list we have Icarus and Icarus Fallen. So these are well-loved maps by MCS, like on MCSG. A lot of people like these. There's lots of different routes and stuff, and so there's lots of people usually get pretty stacked on these maps. The only problem is, like, it's very unique, the style of it, but the unique style is like sort of I don't know, it doesn't look too pretty, if you know what I mean. Like it could be prettier, you know. But you know, it's an iconic map, that's why it's up here. And then what we've got is Chernobyl 2015. So this was actually, I think this was made like before 2013 or something, or in 2013. But it was sort of made for the future. It's based off Chernobyl. So it's got like the power station and stuff on it. And it's just it's very flat, it's very green. I love this map because there's like this bunker on it that me and my friend always like to go down, and it's just I don't know, it's a nice looking map, nice and flat, good chest routes, and it's up there on the good maps. And then top of the C list we've got Avaricia. Just like Icarus is sort of loved by everyone, or not loved by everyone. It's sort of bigger than Icarus. Icarus should be like higher than it, base probably. It's probably not as good for PvP, but there's a lot of good routes. It's very unique compared to the others. Like you won't see an SG map like this one, but it's a good iconic map in the SG world. And then what we've got on the B tier, we've got the Grand Inertia. So this map's pretty recent. I think it probably 2015 or 2016 this came out. But the thing about this map is it's just flooded with tier 2s. So like literally you'll find like loads and loads of teams full of like feline and stuff, or not always teams, but there's just a lot. You'll find a lot of players with diamond swords feline all game, and it will just be it's just well liked by everyone. Like it came in and everyone started playing on it straight away because it's just such a good map. Yeah, it's I don't know, I just find that all the fights on it is really good. It probably would be higher, but the look of it is not that appealing really to me. It's well, it looks a lot different than the other SG maps. Not too green though, it's quite sort of grey and yellow sort of, because it's got like the end stone or whatever. But it's a good map for like PvP fights or whatever. There's a lot of like space to run around. It's got like this massive spawn, so that's where all the fights take place, and then you got like the little tunnels. The thing is, you could get like lost in these tunnels, so it's not always the best. And then next on the B tier list, these are like the top of the line maps. So you couldn't go wrong with any of these maps. We've got the two Breeze Islands, or not Breeze Islands. We've got the two holiday resorts. That's what they are. These two maps are sort of like the better versions of the Breeze Islands. They're just they're sort of bigger. It's like a holiday resort. They're old iconic maps. Holiday Resort 2 sort of I'd say it's better because it's been updated with like new blocks and stuff, and I think there's less sort of water on it. There's like tunnels going under the water, so you don't have to like swim to places all the time. But they're just iconic old MCSG maps. But next on the list we got Tauren SG2. Now this map is Tauren SG2. It's a very nice sandy map. I mean, what could go wrong with this map? Like, it's really there's some really good routes on here. There's a really good like flat places to fight, but there's also hills and stuff. It's an iconic old map, to be honest. There's not too much water on it, and it's just well balanced, if you know what I mean. But next on the list we've got Survival Games Highway. So this is really up there, like iconic. You got a massive road, massive place to PvP and stuff, and you'll get pretty stats on this map. There's some really good routes on it, and it's also very like good looking and stuff. It could be considered higher. I would say that it's more fun. But I think there's just some better maps that could even top this one. Like Demon's Breeze, which is like top of the B tier. Some people would probably consider this A tier. This gets voted in a lot on like MCSG and stuff. And it's just iconic. It's literally Breeze Island with lava, like better routes. You got like the god sword or whatever you can get from like the shrine temple. There's lots of like there's still got those Breeze Island secrets, but it's also not just surrounded in water. There's places to go, and it's better than Holiday Resort 2 just because of the, I don't know, I think people just like the lava. It's a bit nethery, just like a withered Breeze Island. It's pretty cool, to be honest. And then now we're getting into the top gamers right here in the A tier. So what we have here is like the iconic, like top of the line SG maps. Like these maps, if any of them are in the lobby, these are just immediately voted for. People love these maps. There's plenty of routes on them, like you'd never go wrong with playing any of these. But what we have is, firstly, bottom of A, we've got SG Adrenaline. So this is a pretty recent one, but this is just so widely, like, it's so flat, it's got such a long view distance or whatever, so you can see players sort of far away. It's got some really good routes, everyone's sort of flying on here. It's a bit like Inertia, like you'll find it's like a really wide flat area to run and fight and get like far bow shots and stuff, but at the same time it doesn't have all those tunnels you have to deal with at the start, so it could be considered better in that way. And it's a massive stadium, so it's very nice looking and that. And then next we have Turbulence. So Turbulence is a fantastic map. There's some wide variety on here. You got lots of the airfield and then the barn, and then it's very flat. Very good chest routes on here. It's just like a perfect SG map. And then next we've got Valley Side. So I think Valley Side is probably my favourite SG map. But yeah, it is A tier, so it is sort of the best of the best. It's got, yeah, Valley Side is just full of double tier 2 chest routes. It's just an iconic SG map. So next on the agenda we've got Zone 85 revamped. So this is an absolutely played out map. This includes Zone 85 revamped as well, because they're sort of the same. Revamped is probably better because it has the lily pads you can jump across. Probably like a bit nerfed routes, but it's still really good. It's one of those maps, there's plenty of routes to go down. If someone takes your route, you can just go somewhere else. There's plenty of good fights, there's lots of water fights. It does have water on it, quite a bit of water, but it's just really nice looking. There's lots of nice places to go around this map. Good for teaming. There's a nice massive open spawn, and it's just a nice iconic map. So next we've got Alaskan Village. Now this sort of goes like trades sort of with Zone 85, but this is sort of new really. Zone 85 and this map sort of new maps, or not new as in new. It probably came out like 2014 probably, or 2013, probably 2014, but it's a much later map that came out. But it's just a big, well, it's not big, but it's like the perfect SG map full of different routes. It's the map that Huawei like quit on. So hundreds of people have seen this map. Hundreds of people have played this map. Massive open spawn, massive good chest routes, lovely, jubbly, nice looking map, spectacular map. But then next we have the top two probably played maps of all time, and these are SG4 and Par 72. So Par 72 is probably the newest of the bunch, or it is the newest, and it's made by the fantastic Lemon. I don't know why I should have put like all the creators' names if I'm gonna do one of them, but yeah, it's overly played. There's just tons of chest routes. It's such a small map. I think people just like small maps, quick games. It's like one of those maps where you can just quick game, get on to the next one. But it can also last quite long if it just depends on the situation really. But there's plenty of routes here. There's good double tier 2 routes. It's a nice looking map, very green, lots of flowers, lots of places to run. There's also, you got the water in a lake for people that like a bit of water on their maps. It's very varied and stuff. And then SG4 is just like the iconic survival games map. That is pure Hunger Games right there. But it's also nice and small. It's a big jump up from SG 1, 2 and 3. And it's just perfect. Like you've got an airfield on it, you've got sewage on it, you've got towns on it, you've just got a whole variety of different places. You got everyone knows this map. Everyone knows this map inside out. It's like one of the oldest maps, so people all have their chest routes. They all know where to run. I bet if any of you jumped on this map right now, you would know where to go. You've seen it all before. It's been on like every SG server possible, and it's just it's deserving of the grand A tier for the SG maps. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this tier list. If you want to tier them yourself, I'll leave the tier list in the description. You can just order them how you like, and let me know in the comments if you want to change any up, or if you like, agree with more SG knowledge here in rating the maps or whatever. If I should change the list around a bit. But yeah, smash like if you did enjoy this video. Tell me if you like the tier list. I could do like more different tier lists. And yeah, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos, and I'll see you in my next one, which should be tomorrow. Adios.